One. Hey there, this is Jim Bovard for the Future Freedom Foundation. People sometimes ask me about my work ethic. I try not to be insulted. Okay, I spend most of my time just sitting around chomping cigars. It's a sacrifice. Every now and then I write an article. If I want to look like I'm productive, maybe I'll send out a tweet or two. If I'm feeling really shiftless, then I do a podcast. But my attitude is no fault of my own. It's a result of the summer I spent with the Virginia Highway Department back when I was in high school. Ever since then, I've had PTSD as far as hard work. That job was the best summer vacation I ever had. As a 16-year-old flagman, I'd hold up traffic while highway employees goofed off for entire days. On hot days, drivers sometimes tossed me cold beers as they drove by. Nowadays, that kind of act of mercy might spur an indictment. As part of that gig, I did roadkill ride-alongs with a guy named Bud. He was an amiable, jelly-bellied guy, truck driver, who was always chewing the nastiest cigar ever made, Swisher Sweets, later made famous by Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. The cigars that I smoked cost 5 cents more, but I tried not to put on airs around Bud. If Bud and I saw a dead animal along the road, we were supposed to dig a hole and bury it. It's a lot of work. This could take half an hour longer. Bud's approach was a lot more efficient. We would get our shovels firmly under the dog or the deer, wait until no cars were passing by, and then heave the carcass into the bushes. It was important not to let the job crowd the time for smoking. I was often assigned to a crew that was probably the biggest slackers south of the Potomac River. Working slowly to slipshod standards was their code of honor. Anyone who worked harder was viewed as a menace or worse. The crew's foreman looked like he just stepped out of a Popeye cartoon to announce, "I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today." His face and mannerisms were dead ringers for Wimpy. He was lackadaisical about everything except quitting time. Number two guy in that crew was named John. Stocky, boisterous fellow with dancing eyes who was happiest when he was tearing up a road with his bulldozer, especially if it didn't need tearing up. The most important thing I learned from Wimpy's crew was how not to shovel. Any yucca-puck can grunt and heave material from spot A to spot B, but with a little practice and savvy, a mule-like activity can be refined into an art form. To not shovel right, the shovel handle needs to rest just above your belt buckle as you lean forward, but not as much to make people think of the Tower of Pisa. It's important not to have both hands in your pocket. That's what they taught me the first day. Never get caught with both hands in your pocket because people don't recognize that it's work in progress. The key is to appear to be studying where to put your next shovel load, sort of like a falcon getting ready to swoop down on its prey. One of the crew's tasks that summer was to build a new road. Now, John was indignant about it. He says, "Why does the state government have us do this? Private businesses could build the road a heck of a lot cheaper and more efficiently." I was puzzled by his comment, but by the end of the summer, I heartily agreed. The highway department could not organize competently anything more complex than painting stripes in the middle of the road. Even the placement of highway direction signs was routinely botched. There was one exception to the highway job's slow cadence. From 4:30 onwards each day, teams returned to headquarters and commenced the big fret. The employees gathered in a sitting room with no clock on the wall to wait silently, almost breathlessly. And then at some point, one of the older guys decided it was 5 p.m. and everybody jumped up like they were fleeing a ship that had hit an iceberg. Those guys sweat more in the last 15 minutes of the day than they did for the rest of the day combined. I've talked to a lot of folks over the years who had similar experiences working on government payrolls. Yet amazingly, politicians still pretend that they can create programs that will teach young people how to work. Going back almost 50 years, the government General Accounting Office has lambasted these programs for corrupting young people and preventing them from learning what work really is. During the Obama administration, teens in Boston donned puppets to greet people coming to an aquarium. In Washington, D.C., the kids on the payroll spent their time maintaining schoolyard butterfly habitats. There's a lot of demand for that skill in the private sector. Down in Florida, summer job enlistees practice firm handshakes to ensure that employers quickly understood their serious intent to work. For this, we have a federal government. I've been thumping these programs for 35 years in books and articles. In 1989, I was pretty much thrown out of the huge office of the Secretary of Labor, Elizabeth Dole, after I asked her too many difficult questions about the Job Training Partnership Act. I wrote a Reader's Digest article about that program, and I was deeply hurt that Miss Dole claimed my piece was biased. My hunch was that she never forgave me for the article headline, The Federal Job Training Fiasco. Don't blame me. I don't make the boondoggles. I only write about them. This is Jim Bovard. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.